Hey there VCE HHD students, my name's Andy, I'm a VCE Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're going to look at answering the 2021 VCE HHD Exam question number 13. Just a reminder before we dive into question number 13 that the Health Resources Hub YouTube channel, a new video like this one is coming out each day between now and the HHD exam this year. You can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there. Please let your HHD friends know they can do so too to get access to all of those videos. You can also see our social media links there if you'd like to follow us and get alerts of new videos coming out each day, as well as HHD exam tips, and also our email if you've got any questions or suggestions you'd like me to work on. Okay, so you can see here now the 2021 VCE HHD exam question 13 was worth 10 marks, and it started with some stimulus material about the Australian government working with an organisation called the World Food Programme to work on food security in countries across the Pacific region. They talked about the fact that the program involves working with farmers and small business to improve agricultural techniques and increase food production and availability. And so A was asking you for 1 mark to identify one priority of Australia's aid program that's represented in the information above. So probably either agriculture, fisheries and water, or infrastructure, trade facilitation and international competitiveness were the best options for A. B was then asking you to identify and describe the type of aid represented in the information above. So because the government is working with the World Food Programme, a large international organisation, that's multilateral aid. So in your description, mentioning, that multilateral aid is where large international organisations accept multiple donations from, say, countries like the Australian government, and then combine those to provide aid, often on a large scale, to address problems or issues such as food security, would have gotten you then those additional marks. You can see here in the examiner's report that only 29% of the state achieved a mark for 13A, but then for 13B, it was even lower for full marks. Only 13% of the state achieved 3 marks. You can see that they've given you an example of a description, of multilateral aid that achieved a high scoring response. For C, it asks you to describe why Australia would provide aid to countries across the Pacific region. And so you had to mention there, something along the lines of features, of the Australian aid program, but link it into the Pacific region. So you can see down the bottom, they've given you some sample responses, like there's many people living in poverty in countries across the Pacific region, or that many countries in our region are affected by conflict, or the fact that our nearest neighbours and providing aid to those could help promote regional security. So something that linked into that specific region in relation to the Australian aid program would have gotten you, a couple of marks there. Then D was asking you what are 2 features that would make an aid program implemented in low and middle income countries effective. You have to explain your response. So this is related to the features of effective aid programs. So things like ownership, transparency and accountability, a focus on women, education. And so for each of the 2 features that you chose, you had to explain why it links to effective aid programs. And that's probably the most difficult part of this question. You can see only 12% of students achieved full marks. They gave an example of a high scoring response down there. The first one mentioned ownership, and that includes being tailored to the needs of a recipient country and not merely the donor country. And so that includes education, and ensuring that once the aid ceases, it can continue to have an effect, and that can lead to self-sufficient countries and long-term sustainable human development. So linking into why it's likely to be effective, The other feature they included in the high scoring response was partnerships and collaboration. And they talked about how that can lead to things like shared expertise and knowledge and greater funding for programs, meaning adequate resources are available, and that leads to increased outcomes and effective aid programs. So make sure for those features of effective aid programs, you know why they're likely to lead to effective programs. Hopefully you found that useful. A reminder, the Health Resources Hub YouTube channel, our social media links, and our email. Thanks so much.